Good morning students. Today I am going to introduce you chapter 2nd geography for class 6th, and that is globe, latitudes and longitudes. So let's start with the first word, that is globe. Students, our earth is very huge and its miniature form is known as globe. Means we can say the globe is the true model of earth. So we can write down the definition that true model of earth is called globe. But students, as we know, our earth is not a complete sphere. It is slightly flattened at the poles. Let's try to understand with the help of this ball. Suppose this ball is our earth, so it is not of this shape. What's the true shape of the earth? It is slightly flattened from the north pole and from the south pole and bulging at the middle. So what's the true shape of earth? Flattened from the poles and bulging at the middle. Now let's talk about the axis of the earth. This line is visible to you. This is the axis of the earth. Let's try to understand. If I pass a needle from this ball from here to here, then I can spin this ball like this. In the same way, our earth spins on this axis from west to east direction. Our earth spins on this axis from west to east direction. Now students, the globe is true model of earth. Axis is the line on which our earth spins, and now we will talk about latitudes and longitudes. But before teaching you this, I want to tell you all these things, the axis, the latitude, the longitudes, all these are imaginary lines. Means if you try to find where all these lines are drawn on this earth, then nowhere. Because these are imaginary lines through which we can find out the place on the globe. Now try to understand this concept with the help of these diagrams. With the latitudes and longitudes, our earth looks like this. In this image, all these horizontal lines are known as latitudes and all these vertical lines are known as longitudes. And with these longitudes and latitudes, our globe looks like this, and this is known as grid lines. What does it? Grid lines. Now let's talk about some important latitudes of the globe. So let's have a look on this image. In this we have our main latitude in the middle of the globe, and that is equator. In the north of the equator we have Tropic of Cancer. In south we have Tropic of Capricorn. We have two more main latitudes, Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle in the south. Students, equator is the main latitude which divides the earth into two equal parts, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. That's all for today's lecture. Just do practice of this diagram properly. And now let's recapitulate the main points which we have discussed today. We have discussed about globe, the true model of earth, axis on which our earth spins. Then we have imaginary lines. The vertical lines are known as longitude and the horizontal line on our globe known as latitude. Our fifth point is equator. This is our main latitude which divides the earth in two equal parts, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. And the axis point in north direction, that is north pole students, and the axis point south direction, that is south pole. Then we have two tropics. These are also two important latitudes. In northern part we have Tropic of Cancer, and in south we have. Students, it is very necessary to learn all these important definitions. So let's start with the first definition, that is globe. Globe is a true model of earth in a very compact form. After globe, we discussed about axis. This red line denotes the axis The definition is the imaginary line about which the earth rotates once in 24 hours is called its axis. Now come to the two main points of this axis. One is the North Pole and in south that is South Pole. Definition is the two extreme points of the axis are called the pole. One of them is the North Pole and the other is the South Pole. Now let's have a look at our important latitude, that is equator, which lies on 0 degree. The definition is the circle passing through the center of the earth and perpendicular to the axis is called the equator. We have already discussed 4 important latitudes. Now first one is Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north. Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degree south. Arctic Circle, it is in the north at the degree of 66.5 degree north. The Antarctic Circle lies 66.5 degree south of the equator. While talking about latitudes, it is very necessary to learn their degrees. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we will discuss the heat zones of the earth. Thank you.